Happy Friday, ladies and gentlemen. Classes begin again on Monday, and this year, teaching is just a little easier. It's not quite so new, not starting from scratch. That being said, I've never been the person to just leave my teaching exactly how it was last year. Believe me when I say that writing a syllabus from scratch is quite difficult. But it's also quite exciting. The idea of completely designing a class around a concept that you have, well, let's just say that I take the power that has been given me very seriously. I realize that I'm responsible for understanding. When I teach elementary methods, this is the first time in a long time that my students have thought about how this classroom works, or doesn't. For most of the students in that room, they have only ever seen themselves as teaching in a high school setting, conducting an ensemble. To them, elementary music is foreign and simplistic. My job is to show them that elementary music is equally academically challenging and quite accessible to think about curricularly. That there is an order and a sequence that can truly help young musicians grow, even though the medium is broader than playing just one instrument, with group or for performance. But there is also a creativity that is absolutely exhilarating. All this is to say that while I love creating new courses, it is nice to simply revise a course. With most of the courses I teach this year, that is the case, but revising has its own challenges too. Along the way, I make notes about my teaching. This worked, this didn't, this needs something extra to drive the point home. And when I get back to my office to review what needs reviewing, the revising process can be quite taxing. All I have is a note that says, "This didn't work," which often means I have to completely rethink how to attack an issue. That's not easy. Often this involves sitting and staring at my computer, staring out the window, staring into an abyss as I carefully consider how to make a thing work. Sometimes I road test a teaching strategy by teaching it to the friends on my bookcase. Sometimes I simply talk out loud. I have to practice my teaching. I practice my teaching like I practice an instrument. It's not magic, friends. It doesn't just happen while speaking in front of others for the first time. It must be rehearsed. I like to think that I am consistently reflecting and recreating. If I think back to my first year of teaching and how I taught then versus how I teach now, well, I think you'd only have to ask some of those first few students. I am quite different. I've grown, I've reflected, I've made consistent changes to what I teach and to consider not only what doesn't work, but to make things I teach educational and relevant. I can't teach the same way I taught 10 years ago because the students and the times are different. What was relevant then is not relevant now. And so as I begin my second decade of teaching, I realize that this journey of self-reflection is never ending. This process of revising is never ending. It's a never-ending story, and I welcome it with open arms. But for now, a haiku. New school year and such beginnings require much work. Write, revise, repeat.